Hi, and welcome to It's Going to Get Stupid. My name's Jose.
I'm Richard.
And welcome to your favorite pop culture podcast on the East Coast. I don't know why I added on the East Coast, because we're not on the East Coast, but you're listening on the East Coast.
I was about to say we're on the West Coast.
We're not on a coast at all. We're on the third coast. What? I don't know what that...
You just said we're not on a coast at all and then said we're on the third coast.
Yeah, I know. Okay, look, I was wrong. I made a mistake. We're actually not on a coast.
I mean, technically we
Gulf
are.
of Mexico is weird. It's like...
It's the Gulf Coast.
You know what coast reminds me of? The coast is toast.
Volcano. I went to a sneak preview of Volcano.
Why?
About a month and a half before it was released to the public.
Ooh, look at you.
And then I had a t-shirt that I wore all the time that said Volcano on the front of it. And it said the coast is toast on the back.
You know, I have probably never seen Volcano.
It's really good.
Or Dante's Peak.
I don't think I ever saw Dante's Peak.
They came out at the same time.
They did. No, I saw bits and pieces of Dante's Peak. There's a really sad scene in Volcano where they're trying to rescue a group of people that are trapped in the subway. And one of the main subway engineers, he's trying to check on the infrastructure and stuff like that. He, I think there's a kid that they're trying to get from one train car to another. And he grabs the kid, jumps into the lava, and throws the kid.
The train
throws the kid into the other train car.
I don't think that would have worked, but that sounds cool. I mean, it's so heroic, but I feel like he would have just been like, I can't throw anything.
And just drop the
legs
kid.
Are on fire. Yeah, the kid would then burn in the lava.
Yeah.
That's terrible. They had to be like, let's not do that. Let's have him throw him.
Yeah.
Anyway, so before we get started, we can be reached by the emails at itsgoingtogetstupid@gmail.com.
You can find us on Twitter at IGTGS Show.
You can join the conversation on Facebook, Facebook/itsgoingtogetstupid.
You can find us on Instagram at It's Going to Get Stupid.
It's actually Facebook.com/itsgoingtogetstupid. I don't know. I just truncated the whole thing. Also, wait, what? Instagram. So what's the next? Oh, the website. I remembered. www.itsgoingtogetstupid.com.
And now you can find us on Twitch. Just search for It's Going to Get Stupid. It's like twitch.tv/It's Going to Get Stupid.
Don't do .com.
Don't do .com.
I don't know where that goes.
That is. Don't know where that goes.
281-698-7538. That's our phone number. If you call us during the recording, we'll be live and we'll put you on speakerphone. If you call us afterwards, leave us a voicemail and we'll respond in due time. So today we are going to talk about some stuff that we missed.
Yeah, this is more of a catch-up episode.
Yeah. So
because we've been off for a month.
The first thing we need to talk about, Rick, is Umbrella Academy.
Yeah.
So for those of you who don't know what Umbrella Academy is, it is a comic book. It's a graphic novel. It's a bunch of comic books.
Yep.
Written by Gerard Way from My Chemical Romance.
Yep.
I didn't know that
until I finished it.
I was reading and I was like, because when I get into a type of media, like when I watch something, a new show, or
you want to learn about it.
As soon as a movie ends, I'm on my phone Googling everything about that movie.
100%.
Because I just want to know everything. And sometimes I'm in the theater doing that. But so I looked up everything about it and it seemed really cool. And so I was like, well, let me give it a shot. I watched the trailers and everything. So the premise is it's about these babies that are mysteriously born all around the world at the same time.
Yep.
The mothers were not pregnant beforehand.
Nope.
They just become pregnant and they had the babies. And so some of these babies have special power. All of them have special powers. And
not all of them.
Well, I think all of them do have special powers. But anyway,
I think we can spoil this. This has been out for a while.
Maybe we shouldn't spoil it. But anyway, the point is that some of them have special powers.
Sure.
And so this one eccentric billionaire adventurer goes and gobbles up, not literally, he buys them.
He tries to buy as many of these children as he possibly can.
He ends up buying 7 of them.
Yep.
And he names them appropriately 1 through 7.
And then in the order in which he procured them.
And so they grow up, and what he does is he basically treats them as a superhero team that he's training to be a superhero team. So they're not children to him. They are just tools to be used for crime fighting.
Right.
And so when they get old, maybe 10, I don't know, they're young kids, maybe a little older, middle school age, I guess, they start fighting crime. And so we get introduced to them in a real cool bank robbery scene. That was well done.
Yeah,
you know,
100%.
And so the characters are number one, Space Boy, who is what's his name? I want to say Victor, but that's not it.
No.
If anybody's in the chat, they could just chat about it.
I think it starts with an L.
Leon, Lima, Lawrence.
I was going to go with Leonard.
Leonard is not right.
I'll look it up.
Legume.
I'll look them up.
Go ahead and look it up while I'm going. So number 2 is the Kraken. It gets to Leon, Space Boy. His power is he is super strong, super strength. Typical cool power. Number 2 is the Kraken, and he can actually throw projectiles. He likes to use knives, and he can control them when he throws them. So he can like throw something and make it curve around and hit somebody behind a wall or something like that. Really cool power, and his name is again Diego. I don't know if I said it the first time, but it's Diego. Luther. Oh man, that's such a first name, you know.
I had no idea Diego's code name was the Kraken.
I knew that because I read up on everything. Number 3 is, I want to say, Rumor. Allison's.
Yep.
Okay, and her power is she can manipulate people as long as she starts the phrase "I heard a rumor," which is one of the coolest powers ever. And the way that they show it in that bank robbery scene is she goes up to the bank robber and taps him on the shoulder and goes, "I heard a rumor that you shot your friend in the foot." And he goes, "Huh?" And he pulls his gun out of his holster and shoots his friend in the foot. It's so cool. Then you have number 4, which is the Seance.
Yep.
And he can
Klaus,
the Seance, and he can talk to the dead, communicate with the dead, and even be possessed by the dead. In the comic book, he has a couple other powers too, but I don't think they really show them in the show. Number 5, don't get a name for him, but he is time traveler, or he can teleport.
The boy.
Is the boy is really what they call it? It's so stupid. Anyways, number 5, and he has teleportation powers, and he can also do anything. We'll get to that. Anyway, number 6 is Ben. I don't know what his name is. I think it's the monster or the beast or something like that. Maybe it doesn't have.
They don't have him listed.
Okay. Well, he has an entity or entities living inside of him that he can release, and they're like kind of Cthulhu, eldritch horror type monsters, whatever. And then there's Vanya, number 7, and she has no powers.
Oh, he's known as the Horror.
The Horror. Okay, the Horror. Yeah, I thought it was something cool. So basically, they have all these powers. They're kids, and he treats them. They got code names, and as they grow up, they leave the team. And you find out that Ben died. We don't know why Ben died. Number 6. Number 5 got lost because he learned to time travel, and he traveled in time and never came back. And so slowly but surely, Klaus is a drug addict now because those are all flashback scenes where we come now. They're in their like 20s or 30s,
right?
Anyway, so then now basically the thing that kicks off this whole new series is that number 5 returns with some prophetic saying, "Hey, the world is apocalyptic prophetic saying, hey, the world's going to be ending in 8 days."
Yeah,
and he has to figure out why it ends and who does it, and so there's a little mystery going on. At this point, Vanya's wrote a book and basically trashed her whole family, saying, they treated me like I wasn't special because she wasn't. And Allison's moved away. She had a baby. Luther's in space.
Allison's also getting divorced.
He's in space. The Kraken is kind of like a Batman or Robin type figure where he's a vigilante fighting crime. The Seance is a drug addict. Yeah. And Klaus is just a drug addict and kind of living on the streets. And so what kicks it off is that number 5 comes back, but also Hargreaves, the dad, dies.
Yeah.
And brings them all back together.
Yeah. And so Luther is not convinced that his the father that his death was not premeditated or done by somebody else. And that kind of starts this kind of murder mystery, like whodunit kind of thing. Luther thinks that any one of the siblings is responsible for it. And he's like ready to kind of tear the house apart to figure out who did what. And then there's also another character, Pogo.
Oh yeah,
who happens to be a giant chimpanzee.
So when I first saw Pogo, it really, and even finishing it, was fine.
Pogo's the house butler.
But yeah, he's like the butler, kind of secret keeper,
the assistant to Hargreaves.
And Hargreaves is the dad, the monocle is what they call him.
Yeah,
because he wears a monocle, and it just really threw me out of the show. It was really hard.
It was weird.
It was weird.
Yeah,
and it kind of didn't makes sense.
Yeah.
I did, however, read the comic book recently.
Okay.
And not that it made sense, but it was okay. Like
did it make more sense in the comic book world?
No, not really. But I mean, there's a part to it that maybe they're going to explain in the second season about how he became that way in the first place.
Was it less off-putting?
Yeah, because it's a comic book, so you know they're all different and it's all weird and goofy. Yeah. But this just real strike because they tried to ground it in a lot of realism, so it's very striking to see this walking ape talking and being like the old father figure.
Right.
It's really weird, like the old butler. He's what's his name? Alfred.
Okay, yeah,
it didn't. It was weird, but I got used to it.
Yeah,
and it's fine.
There are two kind of. There's a couple of antagonists in the show. Mm-hmm. There's Cha-Cha, who's played by Mary J. Blige.
Great.
And
I can't remember that dude's name.
Oh, I just had it.
You keep talking. I'll find it. I'll find
it. They're. So you kind of find out. Are we going to spoil this?
Just spoil,
okay.
Just as little as possible as you can.
Yeah. So when number 5. Hazel. Okay, Cha-Cha and Hazel. I don't know who Hazel's played by, but they are these time traveling kind of assassins, and kind of they're custodians of the timeline. Basically, is the best way I'm going to put it. When number 5 figures out how to time travel, he time travels into the future. And he time traveled post-apocalypse, like Jose said, and realized that there was a scuffle at the Umbrella Academy mansion. And he's trying to figure out, he realizes that they had a hand in trying to stop the end of the world happening. And at the same time, as he's trying to figure the things out, once he time travels into the future, he kind of loses his ability to time travel. Like he kind of expelled the ability that he had for a bit. Yeah, like he was in the show in a series of like a minute. He's like time traveling in and out of different eras.
He's going back in time.
He's going forward.
Then he goes too forward in time, and then he couldn't.
Yeah,
I forgot why. It's like basically like he couldn't figure out how to get back to his exact time, and so it was too dangerous.
Yeah, and so he ends up working for the commission, which is, like I said, they're custodians of the timeline. So they go through time ensuring certain events take place.
And you already know how much I hate time travel.
Yeah,
but it wasn't like the main part of the story.
It really wasn't.
As a backdrop.
I don't know. I have very mixed feelings about this series.
Yeah.
It took me forever to get to the very first season of Daredevil.
Yeah.
And it took me forever to get through this season.
Yeah, it wasn't like there were definite lulls in some of the episodes, and it wasn't like a very hard, like, man, I got to watch the next one. I got to watch the next one.
Not at all.
It was kind of like, okay, I'll watch it. Man, it's really good. Okay, cool. I want it. And I did want to find out what happened, you know?
Sure.
It got really good at the end, like when everything, for me, when everything started coming together.
When everything started coming together, yeah, it was fine. And then the ending happened, and I was like...
You didn't like it? You didn't like the ending? I thought it was okay. It was fine.
No. Is the ending the same in the comic book?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, okay, we're gonna spoil it because I'm done talking this round about it.
Yeah.
It's been out for like ever.
Okay. So the ending. So they end up. Vanya realizes she has powers.
Yes, and she's manipulated by some random dude
who's he calls himself Leonard.
He wanted to be a part of the Umbrella Academy.
So that's why when we weren't going to spoil it, when you said that all the kids born on this day had superpowers, Leonard was actually born on the exact same day, but he did not have superpowers.
But he wasn't born. Was he? But he wasn't one of the one that was.
He's one of the children.
I don't know.
But he did not have superpowers.
He was born normally because they made a point to say that. They made it a point to say that he was actually born like his mom carried him for 9 months. If I'm not mistaken, he had a dad and a mom.
Yeah.
But he probably connected with them because they were born on that day.
Yeah. So he has the exact same day, and throughout the series, they show Leonard trying to basically recruit himself into the Umbrella Academy. He tries to get Hargrave's attention. Every time there's a public appearance at the Umbrella Academy, he tries to say like, hey, like, I have my backpack packed, I'm ready to go. He made a makeshift costume that was surprisingly done really well for a kid his age, saying that he was ready to join them, and Hargraves always like just kind of pushed him away.
He embarrassed him.
Yeah.
Get away, little boy.
Basically. I mean, Hargraves was a
jerk.
He really was a jerk. And So Leonard manipulates Vanya into realizing that she does have powers because when Hargraves dies, they start throwing a bunch of his stuff out into the alleyway. Leonard, who had been kind of creeping up on the Umbrella Academy, realizes that he finds one of Hargraves' journals, which documented Vanya's lack of powers, or the lack of ability to control her powers.
Yeah, and her powers, basically she can manipulate sound.
Yes, so she can make a sound. She can take a sound and then turn it into energy.
Yeah, and make a destructive force.
Exactly. Which is why her name is the White Violin.
The White Violin.
Yeah.
So, and in the comic book, it's so cool.
Yeah.
And
the show was fine.
It was okay.
It was fine.
If you've seen it in the comic book, it looks so
I haven't
cool.
seen it in the
It
comic
looks so cool. She looks like a music note. It's amazing.
And so towards the end, everything's starting to. Vanya completely. She almost kills Allison.
Yeah, she sliced her throat.
Which she actually kind of removes her power.
Yes, cuts her vocal cords. Man.
She cuts her vocal cords in a fit of rage, which was kind of fitting because Allison used her power to convince Vanya she had none.
Yes, originally.
Right.
I really, that's what I really liked about the show, is all the backstory here and the why this family is so dysfunctional.
100%.
And
that was good.
It was really good, like good meaty stuff. And the fact that the more you learn about these characters, the more you learn how the choices they're making are just not good choices all the time.
100%.
Like Allison, the rumor, basically she has a hard time controlling her daughter.
Yeah.
And so she would use her power
like
on
any
her
parent.
daughter.
And I'm sorry.
Like I would definitely use that power every time. Like
yeah. I heard a rumor
that you wanted to go to bed.
I heard a rumor that you want to get a job. And you want to start contributing to this family.
I heard a rumor that you want to get straight A's.
Yeah.
Just saying. There's a rumor I heard. Yeah, that's why I'll never have any kind of superpowers, because I cannot be trusted.
No, not at all. Anyways, the end of the season, I don't know if they're going to do another one. Who knows? It culminates with Vanya going insane, Dark Phoenix style.
Yeah, Dark Phoenix style. Definitely Dark Phoenix style.
She's using her power willy-nilly and just kind of going crazy with it. The rest of the Umbrella Academy tries to stop her, and I forget how they get her to go unconscious. Or does she like go unconscious after using her energy?
I don't remember now.
Yeah. So at some point, like she's playing her violin and she's building up all this kind of kinetic energy or all this sound to use, because she's basically using it as a projectile, and she's about to basically destroy the world with it, because she's kind of building up, like filling up her tank. And as she's about to release like this kind of like catastrophic energy wave, it somehow gets projected towards the moon, and the moon explodes, and then the end of the world happens. Right, like the parts.
Yeah, she shoots off the moon.
Yeah,
and the moon comes down,
and the moon comes down. So even as they're trying to stop the end of the world from happening, the moon still comes down. Now, here's where I will say what I want to say about the ending. Number 5 decides, okay, the only way we can fix this is we have to go back in time to try to kind of stop it again. The only way I'll be okay with that is if the reason why they were born so quickly is that they time travel back into the womb.
Oh, maybe.
And that's how they were born in the first place.
So then they're gonna go back to try it again. But when they have the memories from the other time they did it,
maybe.
See,
I don't know.
Did they do?
Because the way the show starts, is it takes place. The very first story takes, or when the very first child that's being born happens in like Russia, right? And this girl is flirting with this boy, and they're obviously like teenage years. At a local swimming pool, she kind of gives him a kiss on the cheek, and then she runs and jumps into the pool. And then you don't see her for a second, and then all this blood starts coming up. Well, she wasn't pregnant before she hit the water. Then she was pregnant as soon as she went underwater. They pull her back up, and she's like 9 months pregnant, about to give birth. So the only way I'm cool with the ending, with them going back in time to try to refix it, is if they went all the way back in time to the beginning of their own timeline.
But because that wouldn't explain. I mean, no, that's dumb.
That's the only way I'm okay with that.
That's the only way I'm okay with that. What I'm saying is, like, I hope they don't do that, because
then they just start all over again.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I don't know what they're going to do. I liked it. I thought it was interesting. It was different.
The second thing I'll point out: what does Klaus do in the bank robbery?
Nothing.
Nothing.
What
because he
does Klaus
talks
do
to ghosts.
Ever?
The only
Well,
thing
he
that
can
Klaus
be possessed.
did,
So I mean,
he can be, but they never show that.
they do. Doesn't he get possessed by somebody? Yeah, he does get possessed.
Not in the show.
I thought he got possessed by Dad. Was he faking?
He was never possessed by his dad.
I thought he was possessed by his father.
No, he sees his dad in like a fever like dream
okay.
where his dad gives him a shave.
Oh, Ben possesses him, like in a way, or he can control the.
With Klaus's help, Ben can achieve corporeal form, kind of. Yeah. See, this is what I'm talking about. The series shot well. Yeah.
Their powers are a little wonky.
They're all over the place.
Yeah, and they don't use enough of Allison's powers.
No,
I wanted more of that.
Yeah,
but because that's an interesting power to play with.
Yeah.
Vanya's power is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Space Boy, I don't know, Luther's powers. It's just
he's
and
strong.
him getting infused with the chimpanzee stuff.
Yeah,
is really weird.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. He looks weird and it's weirdo.
I wanted it to be good.
Yeah, you didn't like it, did you?
No,
Rick didn't like it.
I didn't.
I thought it was good. I can't wait for the second one.
I still say it's watchable.
Yeah.
But it frustrated me.
The ending
frustrated me.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Because it still happened. Like everything that they were trying to fight against.
It's kind of like all for naught.
No, but
they didn't die.
It still happened.
Did you die?
It still happened, and then they went cop out with time travel.
If that's what they're going to do, maybe they're going to find out another way to do it. They had,
and then at the end of season, at the end of every season, they're gonna be like, "Oh, we screwed it up again."
You know what? You know what you should watch on Hulu?
Okay.
Future Man.
I want to.
It's basically like, what if you just solved everything with time travel, and how terrible everything, how messed up you would make everything constantly. It's really funny. I like Future Man.
Yeah, I want to watch it. I haven't gotten around to it.
I know, it's a lot of stuff. Okay, so Umbrella Academy, thumbs up for me, thumbs middle for Rick.
Yeah,
you should see it, but kind of like judge on your own. But he didn't like it too much.
It wasn't my favorite.
The ending wasn't great.
Yeah.
Okay. Next, there was a little movie that came out.
Just a tiny one. Tiny one.
Part of the MCU.
Yeah.
Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
One of like top grossing, the amazingly grossing films. So first I want to know, what did you think about the movie before, like going into seeing it? What were your opinions already?
I don't know a ton about the Captain Marvel character. Mm-hmm. She wasn't one of my, favorite comics to read. I know a little bit. I know, at one point she was in the comics, she was Miss Marvel. And there's, she gained the powers of Captain Marvel, and she gave them, and the Miss Marvel powers would then give to Kamala Khan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, well, she didn't give no.
I thought she did.
No.
Okay.
No. So what happened is Kamala Khan looked up to her.
Yeah.
And then got some powers because she's a human.
Right.
And so she decided to become the new Miss Marvel.
Okay.
Because she had become Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like, I don't want to be Miss Marvel. I need a Miss Marvel.
Yeah. So again, I wasn't super knowledgeable about the whole storyline. I think Brie Larson's a fantastic actress. I think she rarely misses the beat on things. I was looking forward to seeing young Nick Fury in this, and honestly, that was a really good part of the movie. I enjoyed.
I didn't ask you about your thoughts on the movie, bro.
I
just said beforehand.
Beforehand, I was excited.
Yeah, you're excited.
I was excited. I really wanted to see it. What were your thoughts?
So the trailer that we watched all the trailers. The first trailer, I was like, okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Saw Blockbuster. Used to work at Blockbuster. Already hitting the nostalgia factor. I'm good with it, right? The second trailer, I think, was I really liked it.
Yeah.
And I saw, okay, this is going to be a pretty good movie. I can see it kind of forming and how it's going to be. There's Skrulls. That's awesome because Skrulls are so cool, and I can't believe they brought him in here.
Huge villain in the Marvel comic book universe.
Nick Fury is going to be maybe figure some stuff out about Nick Fury. That's cool. Captain Marvel, I want to see what kind of how they use her power, how powerful she's going to be. That was, saw a blast, and it seemed like a lot of stuff was kind of coming together. And then I was like, are they going to actually tie this into Infinity War, or how are they going to tie this in Endgame?
Yeah.
Are they going to actually do that? Because sometimes with their movies, they don't tie them in at all. They become the character in the next movie.
Yeah.
But it depends on when they were introduced, because technically Captain Marvel's introduced in Infinity War with the little blinking thing.
Yeah.
So I was pretty. I was cautiously excited though because I heard a lot of crud about it. Brie Larson. At first, I was like, she's a great actress. Don't get me wrong. Like, I think she's an amazing actress. I didn't know if she was right for this role, and I was kind of skeptic about that. But I was like, you never know, because I will attest to this day, I thought Heath Ledger was a stupid choice for Joker, and he was amazing.
You were terribly wrong.
So I was terribly wrong. And so if they're a good actor, you can make a good character.
Yeah.
If you're Jared Leto, you make crap.
Yes.
Even though Jared Leto is okay.
Well,
I was going to say he was a good actor.
Yeah, I know.
What I meant to say is he's an actor.
He's an actor.
He gets paid
He gets paid. He has a SAG card. And he gets paid to do these things for some reason.
I'm trying to think of Lord of War he was pretty good in.
Didn't see it.
It's a good movie.
Yeah.
Nick Cage's finest. Nick Cage's the only movie where he wasn't insane.
That was The Chair, by the way. I don't know
if you saw it on video, don't worry about it. Anyway, so we know how we were going in. Skeptically,
Are we going to spoil this?
Skeptically optimistic. We're definitely spoiling this dang movie. Skeptically optimistic.
Yes. Excited.
Yeah. So, how did you like the movie? What did you think about the movie?
As a whole, did I enjoy the movie? Yes.
It was a whole.
I enjoyed the movie 100%.
Okay.
Like, it was fun. It was fun to watch.
Okay. So I'm going to stop you right there.
Yeah.
Because I want to know on the ranking scale, compare it to the next movie in the ranking scale of the MCU. Just say what movie's next to it.
Black Panther.
Okay. Okay, then continue.
So, and I've thought about this.
It doesn't need any explanation.
No. And I've thought about this.
Yeah.
So, if you can break the MCU movies into like 3 tiers, right? Like you have your amazing Infinity War, first Iron Man, Winter Soldier, Thor Ragnarok, right? Like you have your extreme top tier movies. These are great. I can watch them by themselves. They're always amazing, right? Then you have your middle of the road movies. Black Panther, which I think is at the top of the middle of the road movies.
You just alienated a lot of our base.
You have Ant-Man, which is a good middle of the road movie.
Yeah.
And I would say that this is probably closer to Ant-Man now that I'm thinking about it.
Already going down.
And you have and then you have Captain Marvel also in this middle of the road. And then at the bottom tier you have things like
Captain Marvel. Oh, you're saying movies in there.
And then at the bottom tier you have things like Iron Man 3, Thor Dark World.
Gosh. Incredible Hulk at the top. Incredible Hulk's at the top of that bottom tier.
Yeah.
Which is sad.
Yeah. Things like that. So I would say this is a good middle of the pack, middle of the road movie.
You want to know my thoughts now?
Yes.
Okay. So when I first watched this movie, I put out a post. Yeah. And I was like, man,
I was surprised.
Solid MCU film.
Yeah.
I put it up there. So I have a different tiering system because my top 3 movies are going to be like Civil War.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's definitely in there.
No, I'm just
in my
saying,
top tier.
Black Panther and Infinity War.
Yeah.
Maybe Black Panther's at the bottom. It's like right there. Wow, the Winter Soldier is really good.
Winter Soldier is really good. The first Iron Man is really good.
I'll have to. You know what?
Black Panther.
I'm going to put a ranking system out. I'm going to rank the MCU.
Black
movies
Panther is Iron Man.
No, not at all.
100%.
No, we can have the discussion later. Anyways, the point is I put this with Doctor Strange. Okay, so it's different type of movie because, and it's hard because I don't just rank them in order because the thing about Doctor Strange is it was a movie that was removed from the MCU and inserting into the MCU. You know what I mean? Like we're inserting this character in there, but we needed a standalone story. So he had a standalone story just like everybody else did, and it didn't really tie in to the MCU.
Not 100%.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, it didn't. It actually didn't at all.
No,
until the end. I mean, it did now. Like before that, it was no one cares about the stone or nothing.
True.
You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like there weren't other characters.
So you're saying without the time stone, there's no big continuity into the big story.
There's nothing. Yeah. You could just have a standalone movie, and it doesn't have any other characters.
None of
it
the
doesn't
other
have
big
any other storylines
that
they're talking about. Really, maybe they mention a couple things, but it really is like kind of removed.
Right.
But it was a good, solid entry of a new character. But it wasn't like Civil War, Infinity War, Winter Soldier, where it was just action packed, awesome, great stuff. It was kind of like, okay, I liked it. It was good. I want to see more. That's what I saw. So I put it up against that. So it's in the middle of the pack too, but in those standalone movie categories. The more I talked about this movie and the more I thought about this movie, the lower it went down on the rung until it got to Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Okay.
Which is
that your least favorite?
No. My least favorite movie is definitely Iron Man 3. I don't know why. I just hate that movie with a passion.
Because it's terrible.
No, it's Thor. No, I'm sorry. Thor 2 is actually the worst.
Yeah.
Because I do it in like watchability.
Yeah.
And so I can rewatch The Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
Once or twice.
Yeah. I've caught it like clips of
Thor:
it.
The Dark World. Mm-hmm. I've seen that movie once, and
Yeah.
I will never ever see that movie again.
Yeah.
I won't. I just won't see it.
Yeah.
I put it there with Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
I will never watch Phantom Menace again.
There's definitely
done
more.
with it.
I've watched.
Yeah, it's okay. Hey, don't judge. No judgment here. I mean, there's a lot of judgment.
There's a lot of judgment.
But I wouldn't put it in that bottom. It's like the bottom of the middle for me now.
Okay.
Maybe I have to watch it again
Yeah.
to see its true potential, but it just had so many missteps.
Yeah.
Which we're going to talk about.
The biggest thing I felt like they, you know how when you're driving in defensive driving or in like when you're doing like student driving, like driver's ed, and you kind of keep your foot on the gas and on the brake, or like the instructor like constantly like is like tapping the brake. I felt like somebody was tapping the brake the entire time.
So you want to let it fly and be awesome.
They needed to just let it go and let it do its own thing. And I felt like they were restrained the entire time. And I do feel like that's because the two directors, while they did a decent job, this was their first non-indie movie.
Yeah. And they were trying to put some heart into it.
Yeah.
You know, I can see that now because they're trying to put some heart into it, which is fine.
Yeah.
But you can do that. Like, you look at Civil War,
Yeah.
look at Winter Soldier,
Yeah.
look at Black Panther,
Yeah.
even. Like, you can
They
put
could have made
heart
it a
into
lot darker.
Yeah.
Secondly,
or even Thor Ragnarok, which wasn't dark, but it still
Yeah.
had a lot of meat to it.
Secondly, I will say that I feel there was this weird sense of, from my perspective, Holly doesn't necessarily agree with me, but I think there was a really big attempt to make sure that she stayed feminine as a character and the storyline, like the ending. Like she blasts through a couple of the accusers' ships, and then she stops.
Instead of destroying all of them.
Instead of just going toe to toe with Ronan, or like I felt like there was some restraint there. Like she could have done so much more. And I feel like I don't know. I felt like her as a character was way too restrained.
Yeah, and I guess that was the choice of not necessarily making her whatever. It was more like, we need to get this funny bit in there where they see her and they're like, oh, we're out of here, guys.
And that was the third thing, is that while I love Thor Ragnarok, they're now trying to replicate that same feel where there were so many good jokes and one-liners and quips in Ragnarok. They're trying to interject that into every single one of their movies now.
Well,
Infinity War didn't do it.
I would say that, you know,
but
MCU movies have always been quippy movies to begin with.
Yeah.
Black Panther, there were other people quipped. Black Panther didn't.
Right.
He was straight. He was the straight man always, you know, and I like that about. They kept him true to the character. Knowing Carol Danvers, she's kind of cocky.
Yeah.
She's kind of Hal Jordan-ish.
Didn't get
you
that.
know. I didn't get it either. In some of the humor they forced in, like the humor that she had wasn't that kind of cocky humor. It was kind of like super sarcastic, I'm Daria humor.
Yeah.
I didn't really, you know, kind of apathetic, whatever about the situation. Never was in any real danger. But I think what they're doing, because before Thor Ragnarok, Guardians of the Galaxy really hit the nail, the mixture of comedy and action in an MCU film. And so, but even Iron Man, if you go back and watch that, it was funny.
First Iron Man's funny. Yeah.
There's humor in all of their stuff. Honestly, most of the things they do, except Thor 2, The Dark World, had no humor in it whatsoever. Or anything usable. But anyway, I digress. But I think they are trying to like bring levity into a lot of these movies.
Yeah.
And in this one, it was so forced. It was so freaking forced. So let's take the Skrulls, for instance, because that's one of my main problems, because I was so excited to see the Skrulls as the villain. And you know, for me, the villain is very important in an MCU film. They can have a crap, like Guardians of the Galaxy had Ronan, and he was a throwaway villain. And I'm like, okay, whatever. But when they do a good job on the villain, it really makes that movie go up, you know, in quality. And so here they had the Skrulls, who were ruthless almost in the beginning, you know, and they were mean. And then as soon as he finds out who she is and that she has this power inside of her and all this stuff, he turns into the frumpy dad, the goofy uncle. He's like, "Oh, look at me, I'm Skrull.
Yeah.
I'm turning into this guy." And I'm like, why did that happen?
Yeah.
It was so weird. And the shift, and even a shift of them being refugees would have worked for me, and I'm okay with that. But his total shift into being goofy, I was like, why did he do this?
Yeah.
And it just kind of threw me out of the movie. And then I was like, what? And I didn't care about them anymore. And then it kind of ruined any kind of excitingness I had about Skrulls taking over in the future, which is fine. They don't have to, but it really kind of deflated my balloon.
I still think there's a possibility for that.
Why? But they're goofy. They're all goofy refugees. None of them.
A lot could happen in 20 years.
None of them are even ruthless. Nope. It's not going to happen.
Well, maybe not from Talos.
You don't set them up. You don't set them up to be goofy uncles and then make them ruthless. Like, we're going to take over the world now. Nah, man. I mean, that'd be great, but it wouldn't. But the problem is, it wouldn't hold the same weight.
Yeah.
They could do it. I'm not saying they couldn't do it.
Yeah.
But it doesn't hold the same, like, oh man, I saw it.
They just done it from the beginning.
I saw it back then.
Yeah.
And man, now it's coming to fruition. It's kind of like, yeah, no, Goofy Uncle's not taking over the world.
No.
Oh, he is. Okay, now I don't believe this anymore.
Yeah.
So it kind of kills that. That's what I mean.
Took me out.
That's what I mean. It kills it for me. It doesn't mean it can't happen. Just for me, it if it does happen, I'm kind of like, I don't want it to happen now.
Yeah.
Similar to like Batman versus Superman and that whole chain with Justice League, and I wanted things to happen and they didn't.
Yeah.
And even if they tried to do it, which they did in Justice League, it fell flat because I'm like, they're not continuing the same kind of people in the storyline. So that was a big detractor for me.
Yeah.
Also, the fact that I didn't believe Brie Larson as Carol Danvers
I
at all.
didn't either.
I couldn't buy it. I don't know what it is.
I really wanted to.
Yeah. I mean, again, I'll have to watch it. I think I'll have to watch it again. But for me, I just didn't buy it. It just didn't work for me.
Haven't you seen it like twice?
Huh?
Haven't you seen it twice?
No, I saw it once.
I thought you were
I was going to see it
okay.
once. I went and saw Alita Battle Angel again.
Okay.
I want to see it again because I want to see, maybe I'm just picky. Maybe I'm just, because sometimes you watch a movie and you talk yourself out of everything after you talk about it. And so watching it again may make me be excited about it. I don't know. So like, okay, I watched Aquaman. I believe Momoa is that character.
Yeah.
And I want to make this clear. It's not about her being Carol Danvers from the comic book or being Carol Danvers from a certain universe or something I know, because that Aquaman is not the Aquaman I know at all.
No.
But he's I believe he is the character he's talking about or that he's portraying. I don't believe that she's the character she's trying to portray, which is frustrating for me because you can tell that when a character is playing somebody or an actress is playing somebody or actor is playing somebody and they don't embody that character as a whole already. And it's some of the changes. It may not be her fault. It might be some of the writing. It might be some of the directing on things. But the fact that so think about this. You have just found out that you're an actual human being.
Yep.
Not this other Kree. You're not Kree. So your whole world has been upended.
Yep.
Right? And now you're not so sure of yourself anymore, but she's still sure of herself. It's just really weird. It doesn't make any sense. And I guess that's the human spirit, but it doesn't track for me. You know what I mean? I felt like there should be some vulnerability, and and maybe it was because it was one of those lulls where there was kind of a lot of talking going on and not a lot of action, and it kind of fell flat for me, and so I wasn't paying attention. It could have been that too, but I just don't feel like they ever addressed that part of her being, that weight of now knowing this.
Yeah.
And then she uses her powers like that.
Yeah, she really does.
Like, boom, like, oh, I can fly now. I'm like,
which there was some really bad CG.
Was there? I didn't even notice. I don't notice bad CG normal. I didn't even notice like Superman's mustache being.
So even in Infinity War, like they're in that industry, they call it like the floating head. Like you'll see, like, in the very first Iron Man, what's his name? Robert Downey Jr. was in a suit. Like he was in a physical suit.
And now they don't.
Now they just do mocap, and they have it's just his head floating on top of the Iron Man.
Kind of tell,
and you can kind of see like where it kind of slides a little bit. Even when Banner is in the Hulkbuster uniform, he does some of that floating head kind of thing. And so, but there was some really bad. There was a couple of scenes, especially when she's about to go binary. I think it's what they call her power. When she's about to go full binary, which is she has tapped into all of her power at full scale. Right before she does it for the first time, she's falling back to Earth.
Yeah.
And you see her face, and
It's floating.
It's no, it's Neo from the Matrix in the
it's flat
in the basketball.
It's a mat.
Yeah, it's real matte, and it looks weird, and it like took me out of that completely.
Well, that whole scene was stupid anyway because like I don't know, it's the whole Banner, Bruce Banner falling down, hitting the ground, and then he becomes the Hulk. I'm just like, how does she know?
Secondly,
to use these powers,
she should have just killed Marvel. I mean, Yon-Rong.
Yeah, she really should have just killed Yon-Rong. I don't know why he's alive.
Yeah.
To come back later.
I mean, not every villain has to become a Loki.
Okay, so again, this is the whole thing about her character. Okay, she's just found out that this dude has been lying to her and manipulating her the whole 100%. Time. She has not established herself to be any kind of good person. In fact, she's established herself to be a rule breaker.
Right.
And so wouldn't she have killed this dude?
I mean, just like Superman.
But they might be trying to set her up to be, she's not a killer.
Maybe.
But she just destroyed those ships with impunity.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure there were some people that were alive on those ships.
Right?
100%. Like, I mean, she just killed a whole bunch of people.
Well, she killed a whole bunch of
random people.
Yeah. And then she stops it. I mean, I get why they had to stop at Ronan because he has to appear in Guardians of the Galaxy, which this movie takes place before that.
Oh, yeah.
But
he could have escaped, whatever.
They could have fought. She could have went toe-to-toe with him because she's obviously more powerful than he is.
Yeah.
And he could have bailed out at the last second. Just like Thanos had an axe to the chest.
And it could have actually given Ronan more of a reason to be who he was.
Exactly.
And that would even make it even cooler for Guardians of the Galaxy because his character's stupid in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Instead, she blasts through one of the accuser ships.
Two, right?
One or two of them. Floats outside of his.
Come at me, bro.
Yeah, does her little fist thing, and then he looks at the other guy, and then they just take off.
And Ronan did not look like Ronan. He looked all weird.
No, he looked weird. Like he looked like he was in the Blue Man Group with an accuser costume.
It did. It actually did look like. So what about the Tesseract?
Oh, that's fine.
You didn't find any of that with the silly cat and everything.
No, I like Cat. I think Goose is great. I enjoy that character.
He's talking about the cat, y'all.
Yeah, the cat. No, I mean, I thought it was funny. I thought the cat was funny.
I also did not like that Nick Fury was trusting.
Yeah,
I didn't. I get that he's young in his career, but it didn't work for me either. I was just like, no, he wouldn't trust this person. And I guess he really doesn't trust her all the way because he calls his buddies on.
Yeah, I mean, he did.
He calls Shield on her.
To turn her in.
Yeah, maybe.
The other continuity issue is Fury's already referring to it as Shield. And in Iron Man 1, Coulson refers to it as this
strategic
homeland
Shield, the Shield acronym.
Right. Yeah. But he constantly jokes, like Pepper Potts says, you should shorten that. And he goes, we're working on it.
Well, maybe Nick Fury was working on it. Then he got scratched in the eye. I mean, he already figured it out. And he got scratched in the eye and forgot all about it. And whatever. And it's stupid if that's how his eye goes, that's dumb too. Whatever. I don't know.
Well, that was the other thing that kind of took me out. So Goose scratches him on the face and it kind of goes over his eye. And they ask him, like, are you okay? And he's like, oh, yeah, that's fine. It's just a cat scratch. And then you have Talos and his wife back there looking at each other like, no, it's not.
I'm like, what is this? Is this a sitcom or a movie? It's stuff like that. It was like so frustrating.
Yeah.
I was like, why is this going on? These people are not going to take over the freaking world. They're going to go off and do
it's the biggest bait and switch.
No, it's definitely not. And so it's stuff like that. They're really kind of like, they didn't need to have that at all.
Yeah, 100%.
Just make her cool. I mean, and her powers were cool. She was cool.
Yeah.
Like her story's good. So I think I was just let down by the movie. It's not a bad. See, here's the thing. It's not a bad film.
No, it's not.
It's really not.
And it's not the worst in the MCU.
Not even close.
It's definitely fun to watch.
And I like when I compare it to Ant-Man and Wasp, I actually like Ant-Man and Wasp.
Yeah.
I watched it again. I will probably watch Captain Marvel more than once.
When it hits Disney
a couple times. I'll probably go in the theater and watch it again. I don't mind. It wasn't that. I was really let down, and there's too many errors and missteps that they made for me that just really kind of didn't make it solidify.
Yeah.
And I think Marvel has a problem doing that when they make some of these single films. Ant-Man, you could talk the same about Ant-Man, honestly.
Yeah.
The thing that saved Ant-Man is the humor was well placed.
Yes.
And Paul Rudd is amazing.
It's amazing.
And he is Scott Lang. Like that is the thing. Okay. If you look at Robert Downey Jr., he's Iron
Tony
Man.
Stark. Yeah.
He's Tony Stark. He's Iron Man. Chris Evans, Captain America. He's definitely Captain America. He's
Chris
Steve
Hemsworth
Rogers.
is Thor.
Chris Hemsworth is definitely Thor.
Yeah.
All the time Thor. Loki. Tom Hiddleston's Loki.
Yeah.
That's who he is. So these characters that we've built up, dude, Chris Pratt is definitely Star-Lord. I mean, he is that guy. So I just didn't believe that for her. The only Benedict Cumberbatch wasn't Doctor Strange in the first Doctor Strange movie, though. I didn't feel it from him. But in
Infinity
Thor,
War?
In Infinity War, in Thor, he was. He
Yeah.
was definitely that character. He was Stephen Strange again. So maybe I'm just like taking too much of it in the single one. And when she's in the actual movie, because she's going to be an Endgame, we'll see a different side of it.
Holly's big problem, which I didn't have as big of a problem with this, but Fury now has the pager. We see where the pager comes from. Her thing was like, when there's a giant space worm flying through New York City, that's when you call. Like, you'd be like, hey, space lady, come back, space worm.
Maybe he tried it.
I think, and there's a couple other commentaries that I watched. He just built the Avengers. He needed to see how far they could go.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you call her for everything, and she was basically like, call me when there's a real serious problem. Like,
people are like Grimace. Grimace is wiping out half of the universe.
I mean, I have a problem with Infinity War about that anyway. Like, how did he not know this in the first place? Like,
Fury doesn't know anything.
He didn't know he didn't know what was going on at all.
No. I'm saying like the way they portrayed him, he doesn't know anything. Like, he doesn't know that Thanos is there out there.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, it's really
like he should have known at this point.
How does he not know any of this? And he's just like, okay, people are disappearing in a cloud of smoke. Okay, boom, let's call.
Yeah.
Why would you call her then? That doesn't make any sense at all, actually. What does that mean? I'm going to call her. But it's cool. Whatever. He did.
Yeah.
The point is, I think he's actually been trying to call her for a while because in one of the scenes, I don't know if it was a clip or if it was a trailer, they're like, hey, it's not working. Oh, it stopped. Oh, it was the after credit scene.
Yeah, it's post credits.
Yeah, post credit scene. And they're like, hey, it stopped beeping, stopped doing anything. How does this thing work? I don't know. And then she shows up.
Yeah.
So like he's probably been trying to do it for a long time and it never works. And finally she's like, okay, fine.
Post credit. I was disappointed with how she showed up in the Avenger building.
She just showed up magically?
How she just walked in. Homegirl should have like blasted through the ceiling.
How did she just walk in anyway?
Exactly. There's no defenses. She can't phase through stuff.
Maybe she can now that she has superpowers.
Seriously,
maybe
just
she teleported there.
Just like plasma blast.
Maybe she teleported
through
there.
the thing, and there's a big hole inside of the Avenger building.
Kind of like the Blockbuster.
Exactly.
That's like her thing, just going through ceilings. I'm here.
Yeah.
It was just a party, Carol. Oh, sorry. Let me leave. I think I saw a cartoon like that. Oh, what was it? Oh, it was do you remember that cartoon where it was they had it was like it was an Image comic. I can't remember what it was called, but it had the prototype.
Max?
No, and it had a guy who was he covered in the green sludge made him into a big old superhero.
Toxic Avenger?
No, it wasn't like that, man. Let me find it. Anyway, keep talking about Carol Danvers.
I will say that there's been like even Kevin Feige said that in this movie they don't show any of her weakness. Really, outside of like her her human.
So she has a weakness?
She does apparently have a weakness. And apparently that gets made more apparent in Endgame.
Well, I don't. Okay.
So I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. But
that means Kevin Feige realized he made a mistake.
Well, he realized that he put a overpowered superhero in this. And again, she could just plasma blast through his chest. I mean, that's all he has to do. I mean, that's all she has to do.
So you think, but this needs to be watched, the movie.
I definitely think it needs to be watched. I mean, it's not like the MCU is not like the DCEU. That still sounds weird. Where they're trying to convince people that Wonder Woman 1984 is not a sequel, when of course it is.
They're trying to say it's not a sequel?
Yeah. Like Patty Jenkins has said, Wonder Woman 1984 is not a sequel.
So what is it? It's
right?
Some random movie?
It's some random
movie, guys. It just happens to have Wonder Woman. Oh, hey, look, Wonder Woman's here. Oh, man, it is the same.
Suicide Squad is being rebooted. Like James Gunn's Suicide Squad will be the Suicide Squad. BT Dubs, James Gunn is now back doing Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Did we talked about that, didn't we?
We did.
How do we feel about that?
I don't know. Apparently he's done a significant amount of apologizing on behalf of Disney. and he's ready to come back. And look, what?
Nothing to face I just made.
It's a publicity stunt. The whole thing, I'm starting to think, is a complete publicity stunt.
No, what it is they got called out on something.
Yeah.
And they were like, wait, okay, this is not going to be good.
Yeah.
So let's fire him.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Boom.
Like,
okay, fired him, and then a lot of stuff happened.
Yeah.
People were cheating in colleges.
yeah.
Michael Jackson documentary came out. There's R. Kelly went crazy on TV.
Where's my camera?
So many,
is that a camera?
is that a camera right there? Is that thing a camera? I'm talking to it. So all that craziness happened, and then they're like, okay, let's give him the job back now.
Yeah.
Because it's okay. People forgot already.
Well,
and I don't think anybody's crying out about this anymore or even upset about it.
because they're mad at somebody else.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
They waited. That's what happens all the time. I was actually pretty shocked.
Oh, I was too. Like I sent you that headline.
I was like, once they fired that dude, I'm
Yeah.
like, this dude's never come back. And
yeah,
they came
I
back,
thought his
was
career was over.
like, okay, cool. Ultra Force.
But anyways, I don't think there are missable movies in the DCEU.
Like movies you don't have to watch.
Movies you don't have to watch because they do a terrible job of continuity. Like, who knows where this Joker movie is going to fit? Like,
I'm still gonna watch it.
I'm still going to watch it, but I have no idea where it fits in this whole
Well,
storyline.
DCU doesn't
Batman
care.
is now coming back in Justice League 2. I mean, Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck
is
That's
now
crazy.
coming back. Like, what is happening? He just went on Kimmel, and Kimmel like hung up his jersey, his cape and cowl like a basketball player's jersey. Like, what are
Ultra Force? You remember Ultra Force?
I never read Ultra Force.
Oh man, it's so cool.
So I at this point I don't feel like maybe it'll change after Endgame. I don't feel like there's a missable movie in the MCU.
Like really?
I feel like you need to see them all in order to get the whole story.
Ant-Man and the Wasp. I think you could skip.
Yeah.
I think you can skip Ant-Man and the Wasp. Well, it
No,
depends.
you can't.
You know what?
You
Depends.
can't.
It depends on Endgame.
Nope.
We'll see what Endgame says. I think you could skip it. Why?
No.
What
Because
would
Scott Lang has to come back.
Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's missable now. Like you would, if you didn't, you just look at it, you'd be like, it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
But we'll see an Endgame.
No, you could watch, like, you could read the
Iron Man
Wikipedia.
3.
Yeah. Boom.
Iron Man 3 in Thor 2 Dark World. I think you could actually miss it because they talk about it. Yes.
Yeah, they do recap.
Because they talk about what happened and like,
Yeah.
we gave it to the collector. And that's all you need to know is the ether was given to the
Yeah.
collector. Who cares about anything else? In fact,
Yeah.
you can skip Iron Man. Forget that. No, you can't skip Iron Man.
Can't skip Iron
That's
Man.
amazing.
No.
I can't believe you've never seen Ultra Force. In
Shut
fact, guys, I'm going to put Ultra Force trailer in the show notes because you need to know about it. So that's, I mean,
I think that's all we got.
so yeah, no, Captain Marvel's great.
Go watch it.
I mean, great is in, it's probably better than I thought about it, honestly. It was probably that original assessment I had, and I just kept talking about it, and I took on the negative feedback in kind of,
I wish,
on all the kind of crap that's surrounding it about,
ignore that.
that's so dumb, man.
Yeah.
About, if you don't know about the controversy, whatever, it's basically that people are mad because it's a feminist movie. I guess that's what it is. Like, they're just upset.
I didn't get that at all.
I didn't. I mean, I can understand how you could perceive that they're trying to shove feminism down your throat, but it's just a female protagonist. You could say the same thing about Alita Battle Angel, honestly.
Yeah.
But I didn't feel that at all. I just felt like she's a strong character.
Yeah.
She's awesome.
Yeah.
But I wish that she embodied more of the character and they kind of fleshed her out. Maybe even to her backstory a little bit.
They needed to put the gas pedal all the way down.
Well, and she needed to be in danger. That's the problem. You need to show those.
Once she realized what she could do with her powers, like, there was no sense of like, she's not going to make it out of this.
Yeah. I mean, even before though, like I never once did I think she's going to be in trouble. Oh, they're going to catch her. I never thought that one moment. And even when she was captured by the Skrulls, I was like, oh, she's going to get out of it now. Okay, never mind. And she did.
Yeah.
So, yeah. She never really got beaten.
Go watch it.
She never really got beat though. She never really got beat.
It's a fun movie.
Yeah, it's a fun movie. I think you're right. I think you can't miss this one in the MCU.
Yeah.
And it's enjoyable. I just think it was I wanted to be that upper echelon movie.
Yeah.
I really wanted it
I did too.
So
I did too. I wanted it to be top tier. I'm hoping that whenever they do a sequel, that'll be top tier. And
Endgame is going to be top tier.
Yeah.
We already know that.
Yeah.
And I think that Spider-Man movie
Far From Home looks great.
is going to be top tier as well.
I'm interested to see how they connect it because Far From Home is supposed to take place minutes after Endgame.
Disney canceled all the X-Men movies.
Yeah, they did.
Dang.
As they should.
But Dark Phoenix is coming out.
Yeah.
Is New Mutants still coming out?
It might go straight to Disney Plus.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's terrible.
My thoughts on that is they can recast the X-Men. I never want to see a Dark Phoenix movie in theater ever again.
You're going to watch this one, though, no?
I'll probably watch this one, but it'll be bad. It'll be bad just like the other one was. Like, I don't ever want to see it again. You know why? Because 2.5 hours is not enough time to go through that story properly.
Yeah. It needs to be like an arc, right?
Make it a Disney Plus series where they go through the whole Shi'ar Empire. They do the Dark Phoenix properly. Like, the Space Jammers are involved. Like, all that stuff. Starjammers. Yeah. All that stuff.
Space Jammers.
Michael Jordan's in it.
They should actually, oh my gosh, instead of Space Jam 2, it should be called Space Jammers. That would be amazing.
But do it that way because you can never get that story done in 2.5 hours.
Nah.
It's never right. And the other thing is every person they cast as Jean Grey is terrible.
Famke Janssen was terrible.
Yeah, terrible.
I think that Sansa Stark would be good. I don't even know her name.
Don't care.
I don't know. Okay, so first off about this Dark Phoenix movie, I've heard that it's as good as Fantastic Four, the last one they made with the 4 in the middle or whatever it is. Which that movie was hot garbage. Yeah. It was did you ever watch it?
Never saw it. No.
Don't ever watch it. It was 2 separate movies that they just kind of said, hey, we're going to super glue these movies together.
That's what I heard.
Yeah. And it was a hardcore shift. It was so weird. You're like, watch this movie. It's like, oh, this is interesting. Exploring a new universe, blah, blah. And then, wait, what is this movie? This is a totally different movie. Yeah. Why am I in this movie now? Yeah. It was really weird.
Yeah.
So they said it's comparable to that. So that's not good.
Well, that's not good.
That's not good at all.
No.
So we'll see.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, putting your hair back and slightly up does not constitute.
That means you're evil.
Yeah.
It 100%. If you ever watch Army of Darkness, it does mean you're evil. Take that to the bank. Anyway, if you want to give us your thoughts about Umbrella Academy or your thoughts about Captain Marvel movie or any of the MCU, or you can talk about Dark Phoenix. Don't know why you would. You can reach us at itsgoingtogetstupid@gmail.com.
You can find us on Twitter at IGTGS Show.
You can Facebook us at facebook.com/itsgoingtogetstupid.
You can grab that joint at It's Going to Get Stupid.
You can go to our website and donate some money, www.itsgoingtogetstupid.com.
We just bought a bunch of new equipment, so yes, please do that. Shout out to Richard Profit for giving us our first donation.
Profit.
A while ago. All that went towards the new equipment. You can find us on Twitch, streaming live most Sundays at around 3 o'clock.
Yep.
Twitch.tv/itsgoingtogetstupid.
I jumped the gun.
You did.
And you can call us at 281-698-7538. No toll charge there. And if it's during the live stream, then we'll put you on the air.
Yeah.
If it's not, we're going to have a voicemail from you, and then we're going to put you on the air anyway. Yeah. So you will be on the air.
Yeah. Anyway. And let us know what you think about the Twitch stream. We're trying this out. We've realized that we need to get a different camera.
I like this camera. This camera's amazing.
And we're going to upgrade the set a little bit.
Yeah.
But if
you put something back here,
we'll put your face back there if you donate some money.
Yeah, just send us your face. Like literally cut your face off and send it in the mail.
Off.
Don't do that. Please don't do that. That's so weird. I don't even want to be a part of that. Some of the things I ask you to do not do them at all.
And when he says some of the things, he means all the things.
Except donate and go to our Facebook. Anyway.
Like and subscribe, y'all.
That's all we have for today. Check you next time.
Bye.
Bye. The thing's still going. I don't know what to do. Stream it.